Dr. Abdullahi Awwal, who has joined us. He's the president of the Northern Consensus Movement. It's an amalgamation of 75 economically inclined northern organizations. Dr. Awwal Abdullahi Aliyu, welcome to Balogun and Broad on Hard Facts.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes. Now, we started the conversation, first of all, by talking about why food prices are rising so fast, and you're going to answer that question for me. But first, I want to talk about your group. Your group represents 75 different organizations. What types of agricultural businesses or activities are those group members involved in?
Everything agriculture. Everything. When I say everything, I mean everything agriculture. From all consumables that you know that comes under agriculture. I will just mention some few of the organizations. I think that could possibly answer your question and also that of listeners or viewers of this very program. First, you have the Ariwa Traders Association. When you hear Ariwa Traders Association, you know what trading is all about. And then when you talk about trading, buy and sell comes under trading. The Aliyu Traders Association is just one of the organization. Then you have as Association of Nigeria. And when you hear about cattle dealers, it has to do with issue that has to do with meats, meat consumable. The sheep to chickens, and then the rest of them and then that is that, and so
everything that is eaten, your group represents them.
Sellers Association. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So I was saying, so basically, everything that we eat, you are represented. You have group members represented in your organization.
Yes, in fact, all the leadership. The 75 organization constitute leadership of all various organizations, where you have the president, the vice president, the secretary general, the publicity secretary, the organizing secretary, the contact and mobilization secretary, 7 members per association. That is what constitutes, because of the leadership position, naturally, there are so many problems coming from different angles.
Oh, okay.
Within the north, south, east, and west, either we have this problem in the market or we have that problem in the market. So the calls keep on coming and
interrupting. Oh, sorry. Okay, so you are the perfect person to ask, why are food prices rising so fast?
It's better for me because at the end of the day, other members will want to see what the conversation is all about and things like that. So, like I said, everything consumable, anything consumable comes under this organization. And I told you the number of organizations, and I just cited 2 or 3, 4, 5 out of the membership of the organization, that is the Northern Consensus Movement. And then of each of the organizations that constitutes membership of Northern Consensus Movement, I've also told you of the number of executive per organization that comes under the Northern Consensus Movement that form the General Assembly of the Northern Consensus Movement. So it's so large an organization that from the highest of the high, as far as trading, farming, and buy and sell are concerned, to the lowest of the low. Orange sellers, vegetable sellers association. It will interest you to know that even mango producers, people that plant mangoes, and then for farming business, for farming and business, they are also part of.
So why are food prices rising? Tell me, why are food prices rising as fast as they are?
Well, there are so many factors that are making food prices to rise. One of the factors is the insecurity I met the other guy discussing with you. Once there's no security, you will definitely find challenges in food prices, because that is what we also call food security. You are aware that in the last 12 years, the northern Nigeria, most especially northwest, northeast, and part of northwest, have been involved with insecurity, this Boko Haram insurgency thing. That has really and badly affected the farming activity in northern Nigeria. And when there's no farming activity, naturally you should expect food prices to be high.
Okay.
That is one. Not only in the northeastern part of the country, it has degenerated most recently to the issue of kidnappings, cattle rustling, banditry. All these things are part of the problem that are bedeviling northern Nigeria now, from northeast to northwest to north central. And these are the food basket of the Federation. This is where the food items are being farmed, and this is from where the food items are being produced that they go to other parts of Nigeria. And because we are having these security challenges of, even when it is raining season, you find out that a lot of people are afraid of going to their farms because of the fear of either being kidnapped or bandits coming while they were in the farms and things like that. So that has greatly affected the input and the output as far as food security is concerned in northern Nigeria. So by that, it will tell you that naturally food prices will have to go high, because it is only when there's abundance of food that is when the prices will go low. But when there's no abundance, when there's scarcity of food, you will naturally expect that prices of foodstuffs will naturally go high, because there's going to be high demand and there is low supply. When there's high supply and then low demand, you expect the prices to go low. But when there's high supply and there's low demand, you expect the prices to go high.
A question I was asking Olarenwaju before you joined was, which of these crops do we depend on each of these states for? So you've both mentioned insecurity, and I want you to paint us a picture, walk us through the value chain. So there's insecurity preventing farmers from going to the farm. We know the states where there's insecurity. You've mentioned the northeast, northwest, north central. We know the ones that have insurgency. We know the ones that have bandits. But what I want to know is, which crops come from which of these states? For people in Lagos, which states are we depending on for which of these crops? This question is for Dr. Awwal, because I've already asked Olarenwaju this same question.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I will give you an example.
Okay.
Now, if you speak about Kaduna State, Kaduna State, I heard Olarenwaju talking about ginger. Ginger is mostly produced in Kaduna, and then you have the corn, you have the millet, you have tomatoes, you have the pepper, you have the likes of them. These most crops, pepper, tomatoes, vegetables, ginger, corn, millet, even guinea corn, all these ones are produced in Kaduna State. Okay. And then also with yams, cassava, potatoes. Also, these items are produced in Kaduna, they are produced in Niger, they are produced in Benue, and then parts, a little part of, you will have them in Kogi. All these items you also will have in Nasarawa State. Then mostly states like Borno, Yobe, Sokoto, Katsina, Jigawa, Kano, and Zamfara and the Kebbi, those ones produce millets, guinea corn, beans, high level of beans, granules. All these ones are produced from that part of northern Nigeria. These are some of the main produce. And then we talk about ginger. Ginger is also produced in Kaduna. You find it in Plateau, and then you find it in part of Nasarawa, as well as Kogi and Niger State. But that of Kaduna is is more needed. It's the ingredients, it differs from soil to soil, from state to state. There are the ones that you find that you have the high ingredient as required outside the country. You have the state that produce the ones that have much lower ingredients outside the country. That is talking about ginger if you compare Kaduna with other states. And same goes to if you're talking about corn, tomatoes, potatoes, cassava, and the rest of them. Also, cassava is being produced in states like Jigawa, Kano, Benue, Nasarawa, Kebbi. They produce cassava. But also in this cassava, there's differences between the cassava that is produced in states like Kaduna, Kogi, Niger, Plateau, Nasarawa, Benue, is different from the type of cassava that's been produced in Katsina, Kano, Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, and the likes of them. Then if you go up far east, where you have states like Adamawa, Yobe, Borno, and Bauchi, Gombe, a kind of. So these are the types of food items that are being produced. Well, naturally, meat in terms of cow and then goat and sheep, those ones are almost everywhere in northern Nigeria because of either the Fulani herders are the ones that mostly rear those ones, or in most cases, other people that have also seen it as a means of business also do have either ranches where they produce, or women and children also rear these things inside their houses. When it is time for sale, they take them to the market and sell. That also reminds me. That also reminds me, part of the organizations that constitute the Northern Consensus Movement are the Gan Allah Fulani Development Associations. They are also part of Northern Consensus Movement. Their executives are part of the ESCOs of the Northern Consensus Movement, group. And that is where we talk about meat and the rest. Don't forget, about 3 months ago, out of the challenges that insecurity challenges that produced the hashtag NSAS protests and that of the Akinyele market burnings, you will recall that there was no food. There was a food shortage where we did a no food supply to the south, southwest, and southeast. I actually, as the president of Northern Consensus, all the organizations that participated under the Northern Consensus Movement, so I actually led that no food supply to south, southwest, and southeast, even though it was done for security reasons because of the incessant killings and destructions of properties and lives and properties of Northerners doing business in transit from north to south, north to east, north to west, and then and things like that. So this is what we do. We produce the food. Among us, you have what you call farmers associations.
Far. So, Dr. Aliyu, the first guy says, what plan do you have? You've been producing, your members of your organization have been producing raw food for years, right? There has to be some plan that circumvents the security situation that we currently have that isn't blocking food from the north to the south. And then the second person says, well, what can your organization do for transporters who are in this business, bringing the food that your farmers produce in the north down to the south and have to pay multiple taxes, to transport those goods from the north down to the south? Is there something that your organization is working on to ensure stuff like that doesn't happen? What's the plan for that as well? So 2 questions about planning, Dr. Aliyu.
Thank you very much. The first question, the first person is mostly talking about whether we are being happy, that we are happy about the food blockage and that we keep on mentioning it. I guess that person is not fully aware of what led to the food blockage. If he knew what led to the food blockage and why we did the food blockage and what the food blockage saved Nigeria from, I think he will appreciate what we did. We did that patriotically. And it was out of that today we are even sitting here and doing this program. Possibly, otherwise, it would have been a different thing entirely. But since he is so interested, that is why I'm just bringing this clue. But this is not a place to discuss that one. I have discussed that in so many other forums where we did that and what that actually, what it assisted in diverting and things like that.
Yeah, so let's focus on the part about the plan.
Okay. Now, the plan that we are having so far so good. I will be combining the two together, the 2 questions in one.
In one, fantastic.
What are our plans? What are our plans? We have so many plans on how to ensure that first, looking at the security challenges, and then what it is disrupting, and then how best to handle this situation and how to have enough foodstuff so that the prices can go down and for people to have enough food to eat. That is number one. Number two, the issue of this multiple taxation along the road is something that we've been battling with, and we are truly not happy with the way it was going, and still, in fact, it's still going, and we are also doing something about it. But I will mention some of the things that we are doing, most especially with the last one, talking about blockage and food
transportation.
security. The issue of multiple taxation. First and foremost, we've written to the Inspector General of Police, because most of the people that are on the road on these security agencies, you either find the police or the military men on the road that in most cases there's this allegation of multiple taxation, collecting monies from every truck or vehicle containing either foodstuff or kettles or things like that on the road, and they have to pay a certain amount of money. And even after that one, if you go from state to state, there are certain states where the boys in the state will tell you that this is our state, you have to pay tax to pass through, otherwise you will not go through. We've been facing that challenge. So we've written to Inspector General of Police, we've written to the National Security Advisor, we've written to the Director DSS, we've written to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, to the President and Commander-in-Chief himself. In fact, we had the privilege of meeting with the former IGP of Police to complain on this very thing, and he has even given directives. But we are still doing it. As I speak to you, we had a meeting just last Saturday where we discussed extensively this very issue that he is bringing about. And then it is not just about 100 to 170,000. Mostly truckers pay between 250 to 500,000 if you are moving a truck of cows from the north to the southwest, south, or southeast. It's not only the security agencies that do this taxation, but like I said, some hoodlums along the road, between local government to local government, you find some youths coming to block the road that you have to pass. It will interest you to know, or rather annoy you, if I even tell you that there are some local government that when you go, they will even charge you for listening to radio inside your own car in their own in their own soil. This is what our members are going through across south, southwest, and southeast. And we have complained severally about this. Like I said, we've reached out to all the security agencies, the head of the security agencies. We've even written to the Commander-in-Chief, the President and Commander-in-Chief over these things. We don't want to take laws into our hands. We are trying to make sure that things go the way they go. It's not only that one that is bothering us. In a situation where the driver refused to pay on time, if you don't take time, both the driver and the people along in that vehicle will end up losing their lives. And then whatever they are, yes, that is what has been going on. Sometimes we just violence, but then we have to report to security agencies of what is happening from local government to local government, from state to state, and then things like that. We've stated all these things. These are part of the challenges we are having. It is either you pay or you lose your life, and then the properties, they either get burnt or they get looted by this local government. And it's not everybody that knows that these things are happening, but we are aware because it is our members that this thing is affecting directly.
Happening too.
And then we get reported. It's part of what I was saying when you said whether we are going to do this thing or end up making calls. I say a lot of calls are coming in south, southwest, and southeast from our members. In most cases, these calls are complaints of one thing or the other that has either been done to them or to the property or goods or cattle or things that they are carrying. These are part of it. So it's part of the challenge. But these things are surmountable. Where, like I said, we've
and you're working towards it. Dr. Abdullahi, why didn't you mention the southern states that also produce agricultural products?
Well, it's because you didn't ask me to speak about the south, southwest, or southeast. You only asked me to speak about the organizations that I lead.
Oh, so you're blaming me now? Yeah, you're making my fault.
I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you.
Okay.
I'm only trying to. I'm jokingly putting it anyway. On a more serious note, yes, states like Imo produce yam, cocoa yam, and cassava, yes, and then. But with due respect to the most southeastern state, it's about production for commercial consumption, not production for home consumption. When I say commercial consumption, that I mean for importation or exportation. In most cases, the soil of the southeastern part of Nigeria and some part of the southwestern part of Nigeria. Yes, they are good for production, but not that too much of production for exportation or even internal distribution. Is mostly within the zone or within the states.
Let's leave it at that.